Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video here. Today we are going to take a quick look at one of my favorites. The stock has done a lot of tremendous movement, especially in the last year. We're going to take a look at AMC today. So this will be definitely a treat. I isolated it for a video today for a very specific reason. We're going to dive in and take a quick look. Like always, make sure you are hitting the like, subscribe, and the post notification bell so you'll know when we're dropping new videos. Not to mention, make sure to share this out, guys, because we're creating different series of videos where we're analyzing multiple video level different ticker symbols. So please be on the lookout for that because we give you various ideas as far as day trades as well as swing trades. So definitely be on the lookout for that. This is another great opportunity to make you guys aware that I am not a financial advisor. I do these videos strictly for fun because I want to see people win, and it's a lot of fun. I ain't gonna lie to you. Being able to trade from a computer or from a phone or a tablet and literally make money without ever having to, leave the confines of your home is one of those things that I feel is extremely liberating. And I want to be able to do everything that I can to help bring that realization to the people who are watching this video, or if you're already doing it, to sharpen your sword even more, because we can always get new ideas, new viewpoints and vantage points on what we're looking at with these various trades. So, with all that being said, um, this is AMC. We're looking at the 5 day, 5 minute. I'm going to isolate here this one section. We're going to look at what happened yesterday. Um, because I was in this trade yesterday, so I can definitely kind of speak to what was going on. Now, before we actually look at what happened that day, let me go ahead and go back to what was going on in pre-market. So as you can see, this is after hours, this is pre-market, this is the day's trade, and then we're in today right here, which as of the time of this video, it's about 7:56 Pacific time. So that's where we're at right now. But as you can see, for example, in after hours, it kind of created that nice little wick here at $30.30 approximately. So when I saw that, I knew based off of what the action was the previous actual trading day. You see how you have this action that's going on from the bottom left to the upper right. Go ahead and we'll highlight that real fast first, plus a little bit of this after hours. Okay, so as you can see, it starts somewhere in that $20 range, hits the $26 marker here. That does that nice little U action that we always kind of look for, and then the breakout here, guys. So this is the action that we're looking for. If you've watched any of my other videos, you notice I key in on this type of action because this is the kind of action that the market is giving us right now. Not to mention the fact with AMC, guys, there's a lot of people who are already in AMC. There's a lot of bag holders. There's nothing wrong with being a bag holder because there's some people who, believe that the stock is going to create what we call a gamma squeeze and will shoot literally, various levels in a very relatively short span of time. If you aren't familiar with some of this terminology, don't fret. A simple Google search would be able to help you with that. I'm actually going to create a video, I think, just with terminology just in general, because I do understand there's a lot of people that are watching this video that may literally be new to trading or may not have a ton of trading experience under their belt. But in essence, what happens is there's two elements to a stock. You have the option side and then you have the stock side. In essence, what's happening is that you have a lot of people who are buying the stock and holding it, and they're holding their position because they're holding their positions at whatever price they bought it at. They're not willing to sell it. What happens is there aren't as many shares available in the market to be able to short. Normally, you'll see a lot of big financial institutions that would look to short a stock because they believe that the financials or fundamentals tell them that the price is overvalued. However, there are some elements that are involved in that in which you can't necessarily short a stock if there aren't shares available. Now, that's a whole different video for a whole nother day because there's a lot of controversy out there in relation to how it's being manufactured and manipulated. But again, that's a whole nother subject. We're going to look at just on a reactionary basis what has been going on specifically with the stock. So as you can see, like I said, you started off in the 20s, got up to the 26 range here, gave us that nice little U action, busted out into the towards the end of the trading day, and then this gray starts the after hours. Okay, so as you can see, beautiful movement here. If you would have been a stick and stay, stayed in it all day, you could have got in, somewhere around a 21 dollar range, got out of it somewhere in this 27, 28, $29 range here. Okay, so that's the first thing that we saw. So we saw this upward movement, and that's one thing that kind of triggered me to put it on my radar because we saw, a beautiful chart pattern there. So now that we see this movement here and this nice little basing action in after hours as well as pre-market, my goal was to get in here at around the $30 range. And actually, I was talking to some other traders as well, trying to get a good idea and a good gauge, making sure that we saw things the way that we were supposed to see them. And obviously, when you look at it, and I'll just go ahead and highlight the whole area here. So this is the previous day's action. We have after hours here. We have the pre-market there. And then as you can see, there was a huge spike at the open. Now, as a general rule, and this is the 15-minute candle, guys, that we're looking at. So as you can see, there's just one big move within the 15-minute time frame. We're going to go over to the 5-minute because I want you to kind of see this a little clearer. So as you can see, the first 5 minutes of the day was a tremendous green candle. You can see it opened at $30.09. The high was $34.33. So one thing that I kind of wanted to highlight, and the reason why I'm making this video right now, is because when you see that there's so much pressure that's built up, especially with a stock like this, and you see all that upward movement from the previous day, right? There's going to be a ton of action at the open, right? And that's exactly what we got. We got a ton of action at the open. Now, if you were day trading this stock, and I know that's not um, a popular stance because there's a lot of people, that will tell you in the marketplace buy, hold, no matter what, diamond hands, things of that nature. Totally respect, people who feel that way, and I'm not mad at all. But there are people who will day trade the stock. There's people who will swing trade the stock. And so, with all that said, there's a lot of built up pressure in the stock, and you saw it kind of happen here. Because if you look at the volume, guys, there's 14 million shares that were traded in the first 5 minutes of the open of AMC. That pretty much tells you everything you need to know. So, in essence, if you were extremely quick with this trade, you would have made money because, in essence, from the time of the open to the high, you can see you would have got 4 points on this trade, which is tremendous. Ultimately, I ended up breaking even on this trade because what I waited to see what was going to occur in the next camp. So I was expecting that there was going to be a pullback on the next candle, but my thought process was you're going to see the first candle with a tremendous run up there, which we did. But then what my expectation was to see in the next 5 minutes a red candle, but I was expecting to kind of see it settle somewhere in this 32 range, right? So a nice little pullback. We go from 30 to 34, pull back from 34 to say 32, and then kind of gradually see that movement upward. That's not what we got. What we ended up getting instead was the first tremendous candle here in the 5 minute. Then we saw one that took out the entire gain of the first 5 minute candle with the second 5 minute candle. So as you can see here, the high was at 34.16, got all the way down to 29.07. And then you saw here the second candle, which is one of those things that we tend to expect, and then a nice little base action here. So if you were patient and waited for the base to take place, which occurred in the third candle, you would have made some pretty good money in the subsequent three candles that came. Okay, and then once these three green candles came, you saw another flush that happened here, right, and a new base. Okay, so in recapping this, there's a lot of opportunity here where you could have made money um, buying it for the breakout as well as the breakdown, guys, because there are people who will short this, and obviously when you saw the 34 kind of set here, there were a lot of shorts that jumped in here. As you can see, there were 8 million shares traded in this particular candle here, which was roughly half of what it was in the first candle. But yeah, nonetheless, that's a tremendous amount of volume. And then obviously with the third candle, we have 4 million shares that were traded. Now, the thing that I found very interesting was this candle because there were 6 million shares traded. But as you can see, this candle here, you have the upside down hammer. That's always the way I like to reference it. So you didn't see a full candle like this one here, which also kind of led me to believe that there was going to be some kind of flush that was going to take place a little later on in the pattern, which actually ended up occurring here. If we would have saw a full candle, I think we would have kind of stabilized, and consolidation probably would have started here, and then maybe either an upward trend or just consolidation the entire day, which ultimately kind of happened, in this zone here. You kind of see how it kind of stayed in that 31 to 28 to 31 zone here. Never really broke out or broke down. But again, in the first, hour of the trading day, there was a tremendous amount of opportunity, depending on how patient you could have been with the trade itself. But like I said, I jumped in the first 5 minutes. As a general rule, I normally don't do that. Normally, I wait for the first 15, but I had a good feeling that there was going to be some opportunities that were going to present themselves pretty early on in the day, just because of the build-up, just because of what was going on. When you're kind of looking around and seeing, all of the chatter, it tends to kind of play itself out that way. So that's what occurred here. Obviously, there's, without me needing to say it, this stock is far from over. Um, it's really looks like it's just getting started again, because if you look at the 1 year chart, and as you can see, the high was $72 a share, guys. We're currently trading at $28. Okay, so it kind of gives you an idea. And as you can see here, you get this nice little W action, right? You see that? How you get the this nice little from here. This zone is the $32 zone. As you can see, it kind of broke out of that, right? Now, what we tend to kind of want to look at is the next set or the next level. So we're looking to see it break that 35 again. And as you can see, there's various levels of support and resistance here in the 1 year. But that's what we're going to kind of look at: the 35 zone, then the 38, and then the 42 on up to say 44, 45. Okay, so those are the next levels that we're tending to look at. So it's just really a matter of being ready with these stocks, as you notice, because there's so many people that are piled into it. It's one of those things where you'll see pops and drops. Is not all that uncommon. Seeing this, kind of transaction take place here, and then kind of stabilize a little bit. As you can see, it has not broken down underneath the 26 level, which there's levels of support and resistance there. As you can see, the resistance first took place there, dropped down, broke out, support level here, bounced off and up, and now we're at this level here. And we'll just watch it throughout the trading day today. I'm pretty sure I won't necessarily trade this unless it breaks some kind of level in the afternoon. I would love to see it kind of break through this $31 range, to see if there's some opportunity again between 31 and 34 to be able to make a couple points on that. Um, but that's pretty much what we're looking at, guys. So I just want to make a quick video today, try to give you guys a general gauge and idea of what it is that we're looking at, why we did what we did, and where the opportunities were. So when they arise again, we'll definitely be ready for what comes next with AMC. But again, it's one of those stocks that tend to give you really good price action, especially if you're prepared and you're ready for it. The other thing too, you guys just have to kind of be mindful of this for traders that are newer. But in this first 5 minutes, normally the reason why I tend to avoid the first 5 minutes, and again, each person's different, but with this kind of volume that comes in, what you see is there's a lot of slippage that could possibly take place depending on how many shares that you are looking to trade. So you might find that there are situations where you may have a entry point that it totally blows through your entry point. So you have to be prepared for that as well. Another thing too is when you're looking to exit, you also kind of want to create a nice little buffer with your exit as well. So if you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm going to try to hold to 34 even, well, it pops to the 34, 33. When you see that pop there, that's probably a good place to try to literally get out at that 34 level because there's so much movement and there's such a big gap between the bid and the ask that you're not getting it penny to penny. So that's another thing that you need to kind of realize, guys, for the people who are kind of new to trading a meme stock or stocks that move extremely fast. There's lots of gaps involved, so you have to kind of plan accordingly relative to that. Okay, but that's pretty much it, guys. So yeah, be on the lookout for more videos. I'll definitely be bringing more to you. And again, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, post notification bell, and share out the video, guys, because again, the market is extremely hot right now. People are making thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars a day. It's a real thing, guys, where in a short period of time, you can liberate yourself, liberate your families. And that's really what I'm looking to try to do is help as many people as I can get to that position where you don't have to worry about where your next paycheck is going to come from, or if how you can be able to pay all your bills and things of that nature. There's no reason for that because there's opportunities in the marketplace that will allow us to be able to get to a place where we don't have to worry about those kinds of things anymore, guys. So, with all that said, bid you a good day, and we'll see you in the next video.